last video did a lot better than I thought. So I thought, let's expand on that idea of making neural networks and logic circuits and all that kind of fun computery logic gate business. So this is Numbot. It went down extremely well. It's probably my video with like the 100% like ratio with the most likes. It's like at 45 likes or something right now. But yeah, this video did really well and people really liked it. So link in the description. I'm not going to explain that in this video because I got something better than Numbot. You see Numbot over here, he's a bit of a dumb bot. I mean, all he could do is recognize numbers on a grid and display them up here. Oh yeah, also don't use because people are dummy dumbs because people constantly broke this. So yeah, I made something better than Numbot. And that thing is this itty bitty 5x5 GUI. Yeah, this thing is better than Numbot. I'll explain why, because this thing has a lot of potential and I made some pretty cool stuff with it. So basically this is a programmable logic gate, but that's not a cool name, so I call it a neuron because why not? So basically what a programmable logic gate is a logic gate that you can program. Obviously it's in the name. So we flick these levers, it does absolutely nothing because we told the machine to not do anything at all. So let's say we want to make an AND gate, and basically how to make an AND gate, we need both of the levers turned on so the output can turn on. But as you can see, the lamp is off, and if only there was a way to tell the machine that the output was, oh look, there is. This button says output is wrong. Push the button and the machine will correct itself. So we just made an AND gate. If we have one input turned on, the output will stay off. If both of them are turned on, the output will stay on. This one turned on, output is off. We just made an AND gate. We're so cool. Let's say we want to make an OR gate now. So this lever has to turn on the lamp, tell the machine that the output's wrong, bada bing bada boom. We have this is still correct, so we'll just move on to the next combo. Okay, I'm not gonna unflick my levers, the server is lagging. Okay then, lever is turned on, lamp is also turned on. So we're so cool, we just made an OR gate. We got this lever, turns on the lamp, both levers turn on the lamp. This one lever turns on the lamp. Everything turns on the lamp. So this thing is really cool. You can make different type of logic gates and it's really simple. And yes, it's also really compact. This thing is super tiny. I'm not going to make a tutorial on it. I mean, you could just visit my plot on synergyserver.net, by the way, if you ever want to join. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of basic. Maybe if I just fly around it a little bit, you'll probably able to like copy it yourself. But yeah, basically how this works, there's just like two circuits really. It's just this little output thing and this memory module. So how we do this, also I should probably reset it before I demonstrate. So there we go. So basically how this works, we have our two levers and they go into four outputs over here. As you can see, one of them is turned on. That's because these outputs represent every single type of combination you can do with these two levers, and that is on, off, or off, on. And basically how we calculate how many inputs there are is just, I'm pretty sure it is inputs to the power of 2, because each input has 2 states. So that is basically how many inputs we have. So 2 to the power of 2 is 4. We have 4 possible outputs. So as you can see, off will turn this line on over here. But if we made it on-off, this line over here will turn on, and as you can see, the rest are turned off. So there's the dust all the way over there behind the hopper. All of these are off except for this one. So that is for on-off. If we do it on-on, that means that piece of redstone over there will turn on. As you can see, okay, I have to move to the side a little bit. As you can see, okay, you get it. All the other ones are turned off. And we have off on, which is the last combination. This one is turned off, and the other outputs are also turned off. Well, this one is turned on, the other outputs are turned off. I can't speak English. Okay, so what do these outputs do exactly? So they activate these two pistons over here, one that pushes a block in front of an observer, and one that pushes a block in front of a furnace and powers this comparator and repeater setup over here. So then we have our button to tell it whether the input is right or wrong. So let's use our AND gate for our example. So we have this on-on output turned on. This piston pushes this block in front of the observer. this piston pushes the block in front of this furnace powering this comparator. So when we push this button over here, this piston has activated, as you can see, and is activated this red line, which updates all of these observers because there's dust on top of them. All of these observers will activate, except only one will go through the block and power the piston. So as you can see, it lifted the blocks. So now the signal from this on output through this piston, through this block, from this comparator will go into this block that has now been raised, into these pistons, and into our lamp over here. And we also have a delay because there is like a short delay between each of these like turning on, so we don't want to flicker, so that's why there's some repeaters there. So now if we just have the wrong combo like that, as you can see, this one, which one have we just did? So the on-off output over here will turn on, but because we didn't push the button over here, this piston still has its blocks all the way down, so the signal will not go through into the pistons and into the lamp. See, easy peasy, super easy. I hope I explained that well. And obviously to reset it, you just retract all of these blocks, so there's like no memory whatsoever. So, what do you do with such an epic circuit as this little lamp and 3 inputs? Well, you make this thing, customizable combination lock. That is the worst customizable combination lock ever. So, this is my customizable combination lock made up of those cells, neuron things over there. So let's say we want our combination to be these 4 middle levers like this. So if we want that to be our combination, now we have to push every single one of these buttons on this thing. It's gonna be so annoying. So button press, okay. So now all of these lamps are turned on, and that lamp in the middle is turned on. Obviously, we used an AND gate. It's not that hard to understand. So if we try to do something that's not the combination, like we turn this lever off, this cell will turn off, and the output will turn off. So that happens. If we turn another lever on, again, the same thing will happen. The cell will turn off, and the output will turn off. But I told you this thing was customizable, so how do you add a new combination? So basically, first thing you need to do is you put in your new combination. So let's say we want these 4 levers to activate the lamp. So now you have to push every single button that has a lamp turned off in it. So those are just those 4 lamps. So we push these, we push those, and we push these, and we push that one. And the combination is now correct. But remember, the first time we put it, this is also a correct output, so we have to fix that. So we'll just flick up these levers. The lights are turned on when they shouldn't be, so we'll just push these buttons again. And that will now fix the combo, and the output turns off. So we have the correct combination, output will turn on. We have the wrong combination, and the output will turn off. So that's a pretty nifty combination lock, if I do say so myself. And to reset it, we just push this button, which, like I said, all it does is retract those pistons with those blocks. And yeah, this is the redstone. It's not that different from that. Basically, I just built one, and then I just used world edit to put them in this 4x4 space. And then this yellow circuit is our reset, which all it does is just go through each one of these pistons, powers them, and then retracts the sand. And then we have this purple circuit, which is just an AND gate. I'm not going to explain how an AND gate works. AND gate going from like the 2 adjacent cells, and then eventually they snake into this piston over here. So when all of the cells are like in the correct state, this line will turn off, this torch will turn on, and it will turn on the middle lamp. But this isn't cool. I thought this was supposed to be better than Numba. Yeah, this isn't better than Numba, isn't it? It's really annoying to use, and it sucks. Numba is still better. Oh my god, that actually looks really cool. Okay, whatever. Yeah, this is sucky. I don't like it at all. It can't think for itself. Wait a minute. Think? A machine that could think for itself? That's exactly what I need to do. So with that idea in mind, I made PROGI, which just stands for Photo Recognition of Genius Intelligence. What does that mean exactly? I don't know. I just made the name before the anagram. But basically, you could teach this thing to like recognize different kind of images. It can basically do what Numbot can do, but only one kind of image but it can be whatever image you want in that little 6x6 grid. So for an example, we're going to do creeper faces, since they have like a lot of distinct features that make a creeper face. So if we just put a basic creeper face in our 6x6 grid, this is basically the biggest creeper face that you can make that actually looks like a creeper face. So we flick this lever, this lamp turns on, and that will put all the inputs into PROGI. But obviously, PROGI is very confused. He's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Obviously, you don't just see a creeper face for the first time and know immediately it is a creeper face. So we have to tell it, this is basically like your baseline. This is what you have to recognize. And it'll be like, okay, so how do we do that? We push this button, and that basically does the exact same thing as the button in the input is wrong thing on the smallest ones. Oh, now it's happy. So basically, you recognize an image, you're very happy. Now you have more survival knowledge in that big brain of yours. So now PROGI is very happy. Okay, we're gonna rip that input from PROGI, and PROGI's face turns off because that's how faces work. So let's say we want it to recognize different kinds of creeper faces. So obviously recognizing one creeper face, I mean, I guess that's useful, but I don't know, you might encounter many types of creepers. So we'll make a little itty bitty baby creeper face that still does technically look like a creeper face to a human. I mean, it looks really ugly, but whatever. Let's see if PROGI can recognize it. We flick the lever, and obviously, since we haven't told it what it is, nothing will happen whatsoever. But if we push this button over here, then it will try to learn, and eventually, boom, we get that smiley face again. So now, let's put in that first creeper face, because obviously, you might just be thinking, why did that button just make the lamps turn on? Shut up, it doesn't make the lamps turn on. Why would I build all of this redstone just for this little button to make the lamps turn on? No, it does much more than that. Okay, so take this tiny creeper face out from the circuit, the face will turn off, and we'll go back to our bigger face over here. So that's our original creeper face, so PROGI should still recognize that this is a creeper face. So we put that creeper face in, and we should hopefully get a smiley face output. There we go, it recognizes it as a creeper face. Now we're gonna try and add one more creeper face to see if we can throw the system completely off, because obviously we gotta try and ruin it, because that's what people did to Numbot. Stupid. Okay, anyways, so basically we're gonna make this exact same face, but in the negative space. So basically we're gonna fill in these observer holes with the blocks, and these blocks with the observers, and you have no idea what I mean, then I'll just do it, and you'll get it. So we'll just do that, just get rid of all these blocks, and we have a creeper face. So that's the exact same creeper face, but it's like in a negative space, basically. So flick this lever, let the inputs go through and do its thing. Okay, I think it's done. And push the button, and we'll see if PROGI can recognize the creeper face. So the more lights that turn on, the more successful it is. So PROGI recognizes it as a creeper face now because we pushed the button. So now let's see if it remembers the other two creeper faces now that we threw it off with this weird looking thing. So take the, come on, please don't lag, because if it lags, this thing will die. Okay, so let's do that tiny creeper that we did and see if it still recognizes that. So boom, we have a tiny creeper, and we'll flick this lever again, and eventually, there we go, boom, smiley face. PROGI is very big brain. So yeah, that's demonstration of what PROGI can do. It's really cool. You can do whatever kind of faces you want. So you don't have to do a creeper face. You could do whatever face you want to do. You could do a zombie face. You could do a smiley face, just like the one on there. Well, not actually. That's 7x7. This is 6x6. But you get the idea. You could do a lot of things with this machine, but it only has kind of one output, one thing, like one state, I guess, on or off, true or false. Nothing else. So maybe I was hoping I'd make a PROGI that could store multiple different images and in its brain. So over here we have a button, and all that does is just completely wipe its memory, and it just starts it clean. So any of the creeper faces that we put in, it will just no longer show an output whatsoever. So if we just put our original creeper face, so that's our original creeper face, we flick the lever, and as you can see, nothing is going to happen at all because we wiped its memory completely. So yep, that is PROGI for you in a nutshell. Really cool in the machine learning thing. It's really epic. I want to see if I can build even bigger things with this, and this is technically expandable, and I'll tell you why by explaining the redstone. So let's look at the redstone. Actually, this thing is really small compared to Numbot. This is like really organized redstone, and it's really tiny. I'm not going to give the exact volumes because I didn't calculate that at all, but yeah, this thing is pretty small for what it does. So how does this work? So first we have our 6x6 grid input that we have to turn into 36 different outputs. Now also, I didn't mention, but because it has 36 outputs and because of the way that these little memory modules work, PROGI can recognize up to 36 squared different combinations. And if you don't know how much that is, it's like more than 1,000. It's like a lot of combos. It's kind of incredible, to be honest. So each one of these little observer square things correspond to each one of these things with the cauldrons, just like Numbot. So one of these blocks over here will activate, and then we have our lever, which is kind of like our button over there on Numbot, and all that will do is extend those corresponding cauldrons that have a block over top of them. I'm not going to really explain how the system works. It's kind of the exact same as Numbot. So if we let's just do a creeper face, because why not? So we have our creeper face, we have our blocks that have popped out, we flick our lever, boom, those corresponding cauldrons will extend. So each one of these comparator outputs, they will go into one of these memory cell things. So we got one here, we have one there, we have one over here, we have like a lot, we have one over there. Yeah, it's all mixed up and jumbled up, and that's what PROGI sees, just like how in Numbot it just sees a straight line instead of an actual number for its thing. So obviously you can recognize these. They're just a bunch of these tiled together over here. So these comparator inputs are kind of acting like the levers on our first example over there. So now that will go into the machine. So now we need our output is wrong button, and that is this pink circuit over here. So if we push this button, it'll go into all of these observer chains, and it will go into these blocks, and these blocks will now, so these blocks will activate their memory modules. You know what? I'll just show you because I'm bad at explaining. Push the button, it will now recognize it, and we're going to see a couple of, oh my god, the server's gonna lag. Okay, we got the smiley face, we got a lot of things going on, so I'm gonna explain. So if you put in the button, if you remember from that combination lock, basically you have to push every single one of these buttons, so then the combination would like register into the system. So that's basically what this pig circuit does. It will go over here and it will power these blocks and power each individual cell, but then that cell will power on, this piston will extend, so if you try to push the button again, it will not go through the system, because if you remember, to change the combo in this combo lock, we only had to push the buttons that had the lamps off. So that's basically why I did that with the pink. So here we go, we have our smiley face, and that smiley face is just an AND gate coming from this purple line. It's kind of simple. Basically, each one of these, we just have the repeaters going to the lamp, and the repeaters just going backwards over here, goes into this giant AND gate, and the AND gate goes into this little thing that I made in like 5 minutes, and it just powers the lamps that will make a smiley face on the display. So that's what happens if it gets a thing right. So let's see if we add another creeper face, how that interacts with the system. So we take these out, and a lot of these will turn off, some of them will stay on, and because they need to, otherwise this thing is not going to work. So some of these will stay on, but most of them will turn off. So you just break this, and we go with this. So now we have our small creeper face. So it's basically going to do the same as marking, like, remember the OR gate from this original thing? It's basically marking different combinations of inputs for each one of these cells. So some of these are going to be activated and some of these are not. And like I said, to change the combination, you only have to activate the cells that are unpowered. So cells that are unpowered, the repeater could go through the block into the actual cell. But cells that are powered, like, I need to find an example, like this one over here, it will push the block down, so now it can't go through the block and into the cell because the cell is turned on. So we push this button, and that will basically make all of the lights turn on over here, like that, and the smiley face will happen. So now that's how we make multiple combinations in PROGI. So yeah, I hope you understood that. I mean, I don't even understand it myself, but yeah, this is PROGI. It's pretty cool, and obviously memory clear. It's the exact same as the combination lock. It just retracts all of these pistons. And like I said earlier, it can be expandable because all this is just a bunch of these little single cell neuron things, but just stacked in an array. It'll just be a lot harder to wire each output to each one of these inputs. That was kind of the most annoying part. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed PROGI, the beautiful AI thing. This video's like almost half an hour long, my god. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and if you want to see more of these logic contraptions in the future, let me know because these are actually really cool to work on. Okay, goodbye.